Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. Today is day 13 of hot summer and we are going to do some chart based data interpretation in today's class. And in this video we will cover some miscellaneous charts. We have already covered the conventional ones like bar, pie, line. We did cover radar graph also and scatter plot also. Today we will cover some unconventional graphs in this video. So please do watch this video to understand some more kinds of graphs. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media platforms. So this is the schedule. We are on day 13 and we are having a third session on data interpretation. In case you have missed the previous two, do watch them and ensure that you watch all these 30 videos of this series. That will definitely help you boost your performance during the examination because you are going to learn something very valuable through this series. In case you are preparing for CAT or know someone who is preparing for CAT, okay, so they can enroll in our CAT batch. You can use code HOT to get 20% off this month. So let's begin this class. Before that, like for every set, try to pause the video, try to solve the questions on your own, try to understand the set and then answer the questions and then look at the solution to understand that how it needs to be done, right? So let's begin and please do like the video if you enjoy it. So this is a bubble chart, right? So I'll write the chart names also. This is bubble chart. Now bubble chart is a 3D diagram. So in the last class on data interpretation, we did scatter plot, which was a 2-dimensional data. Now bubble chart is a 3-dimensional data. How do we read the dimensions is, we have bubbles of different sizes, okay. So this center of the circle corresponds to the value on the x-axis and the y-axis. So for example, this is 800 and this is 240. And the third value is the size of the bubble, which is 4800. Okay, so let us read what are the three things given. So this gives the GDP, population density and GDP per capita of 5 countries. So this is GDP, 240 is the GDP, okay, and then you have population density, which is 800, and this is GDP per capita. Okay, now these are the three data points which are given for 5 countries. So you can similarly calculate for others also. Like for example, this is 3200 is GDP per capita, this value is 180 and this value is between 700 and 800, that is 750. Okay, so that's how we read the values. Now let us look at the further information which is given to us. The x-axis of the center of bubbles denote the GDP. That's what we discussed. X-axis of the center of the bubbles. Okay. Y-axis of the center of the bubbles. So y-axis of center of bubble denotes population density, and the size of the bubble denotes the GDP. Right. So these are the three information. Now we are given that GDP per capita is GDP upon population. We are given GDP per capita. We are given the GDP, so we can find out population. Now in like one of the questions is about finding the median population. Now population density is population upon area. Population density is given to us. Population we can figure out from this formula, so we can find the area of the countries. So that's three things given, two things we will have to derive from this information, right? So let's begin with the first question. It says, what is the median population of these countries? So we need to find the median population. Now GDP per capita is GDP upon population. GDP per capita is GDP upon population. So this means population is GDP upon GDP per capita. So that is direct. Now let's start with A. So A is, if you look at A, the GDP is how much? GDP is 120 billion. Okay. Now the GDP per capita is 8,000, right? So GDP per capita is 8,000. So 120 billion by 8,000. So what do we get? We get this is, you can remove like 1200 is 15. So let's do one thing, let's convert into millions so that we get the population in millions, because if you see the values, they are mentioned in millions. Okay, so 120 into 1000 million is the GDP, okay, and 8,000 is the this. So you will get the population of A is 15 million. Okay, so we can do the similar calculations. For B it is, or you can directly divide by like 5, like we did for 8,000, you can divide by 8. So if you look at B is 180. Okay, 180 is the GDP, and in millions, and you will divide by 3.2. Okay, so that will be like some around 60. See, we have to find the median, right? So we do not need the exact value. This is on the high side. C, if you look at, C has a population of C has a GDP of 130, and divide by 5, that is 26 million. Okay, D has a GDP of 210 divided by 8.4, which is 25 million. Okay, and if you look at E has 240 divided by 4.8, that is 50 million, right? Now this is definitely more than 50 million. Now we are not finding the exact value because we are supposed to find the median value, right? So this is greater than, like actual calculate कर लेते हैं, 180 by 32 करना है. So 1800 by 32 we need to calculate. Okay, so we can divide by 4, that will be 450 by 8. So that comes as 60, 225, that is 56.25 million. That will be the exact value. Okay, now we have to find the median values. So median means you need to arrange in ascending or descending order. So this is the smallest, this is the second smallest, this is the third smallest. So the median population is 26 million. Okay, so this was the answer to this question. Next question says, which are the smallest and the largest countries respectively in terms of area? Okay, now we know that we found out population in the previous case. Population density is population upon area. So area is basically population upon population density, right? Now if you have to find the smallest area, population should be low and population density should be high comparatively, and if you have to find the highest area, population should be high, right, and population density should be low. Now if you look at population population of A, B, C, D, E, we will not calculate the areas, right, we will not need it. So A, B, C, D, E we calculated in previous question, that was 15, 56.25, we had 26, 25 and 50, right? Now population is high for B and E, right, and density, if you look at B and E, this is the density. So B has lower density, E has higher density, right? B has the low density and its population is high, so B will have the largest, will be B. Okay, so we can mark this as the answer. Now obviously A has the lowest area. Okay, A has the lowest population, right? Although population of C and D is also low, A is significant low, and if you see the density also, it is quite significant, like compared to C and D, like D has more density. So if the population is low and density is more, so C has more density but the population is significantly high, whereas in D the density is low, right? So density is low means population area would be more, but if density is also good and the population is low, so obviously it is A and B. So no need to calculate the densities of all 5, just by observing the data you can tell that this which is the smallest country and which is the largest country in terms of area. The population of A is what percent of the population of E? So we calculated these populations. So population of A is 15 million and population of E is 50 million. Okay, so the ratio is 30%. Next question, what is the ratio of areas of countries C and D, right? So one thing is you calculate the areas and find the ratio. Another thing is just use these numbers. So if you have calculated the areas and the areas, that is good. If you have not calculated the areas, we can do it this way. See this. So we are given that population is GDP per capita upon, so actually we have already calculated the population, so we can use the area thing directly. Area is population upon population density, right? So if we look at C and D, population of C is 26 million and D is 25 million. 26 and 25, and we will divide by the population density. So population density of C is 5000. Okay. The bubble denotes the we need to find a y-axis denotes the population density. So this is the population density. So which is 650, and for D it is 500. That is the population density. Okay, so this is the population which we calculated in the first question, and this is the population density which is denoted in the y-axis. So this becomes 26 by 650 into 500 by 25. Okay, so this is 20 times and this is 25 times. So 20 by 25, which is 4 by 5. So the answer is 4:5. So this was a set in which you had to read 3 data points and calculate accordingly. Okay, so this is how we read a bubble chart. We have 3 values, one along the x-axis, one along the y-axis, and the third is the size of the bubble. Now here's the next set. This is called a triangular chart. Okay, so in this class we are going to cover different kind of charts, unconventional ones. This is called triangular chart. How many of you knew how to read this chart? Please do let me in the comments. जिनको पहले से पता था, and if you learned something new, so do let me know in the comments that आपको पहली बार पता चला या पहले भी किया था. So it says that there are 7 B schools in a country. The students studying here belong to one of the 3 streams: arts, commerce, or science. The triangular chart given below gives the percentage of students from the 3 streams in these B schools. All values are multiples of 5%. The bar graphs gives the number of students in these B schools. Okay. Now how to read this graph is, they have given an example also. B school A has 360 students, which is fine, of which 45% belong to art stream, 30% to commerce, and 25% to science stream. Now how to read this value is, so this is the dot. Now if you see art stream, the lines are pointing in this direction. If you see the line and the number, it is pointing in this direction. When you look at the commerce stream, the text is written in this manner. Okay, and if you look at the science stream, the text and the lines are in this direction. So basically for every point we will read the values like this. So let's say A, if you have to find the percentage in science stream, read along these lines. It is given that these are multiples of 5%. So this is 20, somewhere in between will be 30. So this is 25%. Okay, if you have to read along this is 40 and this is 60, somewhere between will be 50. So this is 45. Total is 100, so 70, and this we see that exactly between 20 and 30. So this is 20 and 40, which is 30%. Okay, so this is how we will read the values. Let us take another example. Suppose we have to find for F. So F in this direction is between 60 and 70, 65. This is between 20 and 0, that is 10. and this is 25%. Okay, similarly for E it is 25, this is 20, and this is 60, just below 60, that is 55%. So this is how we will read the values for different B schools. So using this you can calculate the values. So first question is, what is the number of commerce students in D? It is what percentage of the number of commerce students in F. Okay, so D has 350 ka, F has 400. D commerce is along this line, so D commerce student is 20%, and F the commerce student is 25%. Okay, and into 100 to get the percentage. So this is 350 ka 20% is 70, and this is 100. Okay, so we get 70 by 100 as 70%. Okay, so this is how we read a triangular graph in 3 directions. So this is the table which you will get from the data. Okay, no need to draw the entire table because some questions may need multiple values, otherwise you will need only a few values to answer the questions. So make this a habit that you do not draw the entire table in data interpretation. I have drawn it here so that we can take reference from it and calculate the answers. So please, like if you have not yet drawn the table, try to draw it and see that if you get the same data table. Now let's look at the questions. How many B schools have at least 100 students from the art stream? 1, 2, 3 B schools. For this you would have to calculate the number of students from art streams, and probably by elimination you can see that like art stream is this much. Okay, so A is definitely there because A is around 50% of 360. B is less than 20%, so B cannot be there. C is significantly high. Okay, D is like if you see 30%, so it is also there. E is the number of students is low and the percentage is also low. F the percentage is quite low. G, if you look at, G is around 35% and the value is just 240. Okay, so you can calculate also, not a big deal. You do not need the entire table for it. What is the ratio of the number of students from the science stream in A and G? Now if you look at this table, you will say the answer is 5:6. However, how to calculate is like we did in the very first question, A and G science stream. So A and G in science stream, A and G the number of students is 360 and 240, and the percentages, it is about reading the percentages correctly, 25, and in G it is 45, 25 and this is 45. Okay, so this is 3 by 2, 15, so 25 is 5 and 3, so that is 5:6. So you do not need the numbers, you don't need the table, you can calculate it individually. Next question says, what is the total number of students from the art stream in all the B schools put together? Now we know that in this question you will have to calculate the numbers and add them, right? So it is advisable like to avoid such question or attempt such question in the end, because we saw previous questions could have been done without calculating all the values, right? Most of the questions like finding the ratios, find the percentage, like counting was also doable in lesser time, because here you have to calculate the values and add also. So it is advisable to attempt such question in the end or skip this question. Like if you are trying to attempt a set, let's say if you want to maximize your attempts, you need to skip a few questions in a particular set in order to be able to attempt more questions, because other questions would hardly take 1 or 2 minutes each. This question might take much more time. Okay, however the options are given and all the last digits are different, so we can use the last digit technique to get the answer. So we need to find the total number of students in art stream. So just use the last digit 550, this is 0, 64 is 0, and 3 plus 2 it is 5 as the last digit. So the answer should be 3645. Okay, you want to calculate, you can add and get the result. The number of students from the science stream in these 7 B schools is approximately what percent of the total number of students in these B schools. Okay. Now if you look at this question is even more calculation intensive than the previous one. In the previous question you have to find the total, right? That was our answer. Now in this question you have to find this total and divide by this total number of students. Okay. Is total say like this, you have to find total 1, total 2, and you have to tell the percentage. So definitely it is an avoidable question. Now let us see that how can it be done in a smart way. Okay? How can I answer this question correctly by just looking at these percentages? So understanding of percentages, averages is very important in data interpretation. If you know the concepts of ratios, percentages and averages well, these kind of data interpretation are cakewalk for you. Okay, so if you look at the see, this is actually a weighted average because the number of students is not the same. So we will find unweighted average and then allot the weights accordingly, right? Suppose we have to find the unweighted average. What would be the average? So some are in 20s, some are in 30s. Okay, so I would say somewhere around 50. If I take the assumption that the average is 50, just taking an assumption. Okay, so this cancels out with this value. So B and C cancel out. Okay, B jitna aage, C utna piche. No, B is in fact closer. B is 55 and this is 60. So sorry, B and G will cancel out. B is closer. Okay, and then F is slightly far away and C is more. So definitely it is not 50, right? It is less than 50. Now if I assume the average to be 45, because see, these two values are pushing it way below it. So if I assume the average to be 45, C and D get cancelled off. Okay, now this is 20 less and this is 20 more. So A and F also cancel out each other. Now E and B, right? So I am calculating the actual average. Now this is B is 10 ahead and E is 20 behind. So we have a net deviation of 10. So 45 is our assumed average and we have 7 values. So it turns out to be 43 point, this is 1.4, so 43.6 is the average. Okay. So average is 43.6. Okay, you can calculate the actual average. Okay, but what I did was by observing the graph. You do not need to use pen also. Like if you have good observation skills, you can read the lines, you can do it well. Okay, agar nahi pata to you can write the values. That's the best way out. Like let's show by writing the values also, because some of you might think ये ऊपर से जा रहा है, कैसे निकाला average. So A and E, like let's write the values. A, E is 25, 25. Okay. Then we have C as 40, G as 45, okay, D as 50, B as 55 and F as 65. So we are assuming the average to be 45. Okay. So this is minus 20, this is plus 20. So these cancel out. This is minus 5 and this is plus 5. So these cancel out. This is minus 20 and this is plus 10. So net minus 10. Right? Average we have taken is 45. So 45 minus 10 and there are 7 values. So we will get the net average as 43.6. So we get 43.6%, right? If in all the colleges the number of students was equal. Now we will try to shift this average. Where will this average shift? Will it go up or will it go down? So definitely 51, 48 look far off, but let's see in which direction will it move. Which B schools have the highest number of students? 400 and 420, B and F. B and F are on the higher side. Okay, B or F high side mein, and they have good number of students also. So it will slightly move up, like 43.6 से थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाएगा, maybe 44 point something, right? Or may reach 45, right? Now I would go with the bet of 45. See what we do is, and see जिसका weight कम है उससे दूर जाएगा. Like if weight is high, like we can take for, like we took 2 colleges, we can take 3 also. So A will pull it down, and which have the high ones, that B, D, F. So B, D, F have significant number of students, right? So it will pull the average slightly away, right? C will balance it out. A and E have fewer students, right? A or E में students कम है, like E especially has fewer students, very less students as compared to others. So these three will technically pull the average from 43.5 to 43.6 to slightly above. So maybe it won't reach 45, it may be 44 point something, but I would go with the bet of 45, right? So this is how you solve average based questions without doing calculation. बहुत simple सी calculation है, basic calculation. I did not do this multiplication thing and adding and doing it. Instead I used a statistic method to find the average, the movement and average. So if you are good with these things, you can answer the questions without doing the calculations, because this calculation will take a lot of time. You will have to calculate these 7 values, you will have to total these, then you will have to total these and then divide and tell the answer. ठीक है, आपका आंसर भी वही आएगा, मेरा भी आंसर वही आएगा, but the thing is the options are slightly far apart, 3% के gap में. So I can confidently say that it is 45% without even calculating. Now your task is to calculate the actual average and let me know in the comments कि actual average कितना आया. I hope you are enjoying this session and learning few essential techniques of solving questions in data interpretation, like approximations, using averages, percentages, etc. So please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Let's now move on to the next kind of graph. This graph is called waterfall. मुझे कमेंट में बताना लास्ट में कि आपने इनमें से कौन कौन से तरह के ग्राफ पहले देखे थे. आई एम श्योर बबल ग्राफ काफ़ी लोगों ने देखा हो सकता है, मे बी इन ट्रायंगुलर ऑल्सो, बट वाटरफॉल मस्ट बी न्यू टू मोस्ट ऑफ यू. Okay, so it shows the number of employees that left or joined a company in each of the months of a year. The number of employees at the beginning of the year was 4,500. So the number of employees is 4,500. Now we have the change in the number of employees. Green shows increase, red shows decrease. Okay, forget this total part because while drawing the graph it automatically generated it. So if you have seen the stock price graph, right, the red ones show decrease, green ones show increase. So it is similar to that graph. So increase, the green one shows increase, red one shows decrease. So for example, at the start it was 4,500, in January it decreased by 750. So Jan it became 4,500 minus 750, that is 3,750. In Feb it increased by 450, so 3,750 plus 450, that is equal to 4,200. Okay, end of Feb. Now the first question is, what is the number of employees at the end of July? So Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. Now a normal student would calculate for each month like this. ठीक है, step by step करेगा या कोई इसमें addition subtraction करेगा. So I will tell you a way to solve this using deviation. Deviation से कैसे करना है? See, we have to find at the end of July. So let's see this. This is increase of 1,000, right? Increase of 1,000. It is decrease of 1,100. So net decrease of 100. Okay. Now this is decrease of 750, increase of 850. So increase of 100. So increase of 100 and decrease of 100 makes it 0. Now this is minus 1250 plus 1,500. So increase of 250. So initially there were 4,500. Increase it by 250. We will get the answer 4,750. So if you know these techniques of doing calculations, you are better off than most of the candidates, because most of the candidates, now if someone knows how to read the graph, will solve it manually. ठीक है, एक के बाद एक step by step calculate करेगा. If you use this deviation method of calculation, you are much better than most of the people. So अगर CAT में DI आता है, it is usually easy to solve, but some students end up spending a lot of time on that set also because they use the conventional calculation methods. However, if you use smart calculations, which we have learnt in these DI series, you will be much better than most of those. What is the number of employees at the beginning of October? So beginning of October can be said as end of September. Okay. So in the previous question we had calculated till end of July. Keep this thing in mind while solving data interpretation or logical reasoning. Do rough work at one particular place so that you have previous data ready with you. Now I already know that what was the number at the end of July. So I will not count from beginning again. Instead I will use my previous information. So till July it was 4750. Now 600 added and 500 subtracted. We have to find till end of September. So we have an increase of 100 more from it. So 4850. So these are the techniques that you need to apply. What is the lowest number of employees at the end of any month? So we need to find the lowest number that it can reach. Now if you actually see, the graph is going from that point only, like this is 4500 minus 750. It is rising from this point, rising from this point. So if you look at the graph, we know that the lowest is in June, right? Is at the end of June. Now learnings from it, like first is by observation we can tell that it is end of June. Then the next thing is like how to calculate this value. If the index was given here, like it was given 4000, 3000, 2000, like this, sorry, this will be 3000, 2000. So probably you could have just read through the lines and got the values. ऐसे अगर दी होती values, but the values are not given, and it might be tricky also because the options are also not given here. Okay, so we will do one thing. We will again use the previous knowledge that we have, right? Either you can calculate till end of June. First of all, this figuring out this thing that the lowest is in the end of June is the first thing. अगर आपको ये पता चल गया, you do not have to calculate for all the months. Second thing is either you can calculate till June or we will use previous data. We know till July end it was 4750, okay, and it increased by 1500 from here. So that means in June it must have been 4750 minus 1500, which is 3250. So this is the significance of using data from previous questions. You can answer subsequent questions quite easily. What is the percentage change in the number of employees during the year? Okay, so we need to find a percentage change in the number of employees. Now again we see that we already know till end of September. Okay. End of September we had calculated 4850. Okay. उसके बाद we have minus 650 plus 650, so that cancels out. So end of the year it is 4850, and at the start it was right. So we saw that there is an increase of 350 upon 4500 into percentages. So we see that 45 into 8 is 360, right? So 8 less than 8%, which is 7.78%. No need to calculate also. Okay. Like it's a good practice to calculate, but if you look at the options, you can easily say that it is 7.78. 8 se kam hi hoga. Okay. So again a bonus that we knew previously used data, previously calculated data. So always remember that in data interpretation, if some value has been previously calculated, that can help you in other questions also. For which pairs of months were the number of employees at the end of the month the same? Now this question involves calculating the number of people at the end of the month and comparing the numbers. Are they equal? And we have to compare that. Now one is obviously you calculate for each month, right? If you are doing that way, you are in the below 90 percentile mark if you are calculating for every month. If you want to be in the 99 percentile plus, you need to be smart by just observing the graph using the options. Okay. So March and July. March में क्या red है, so this is the number. So if it is red, you find the lower point. If the graph is green, you read the higher point, because green means there is an increase. So March it is this number. You don't need to calculate. We just have to tell whether it is equal or not. July. July, if you look at this, July is this. So we see the number here, right? So March and July, are they equal? March it is less. Okay. July it is more. So definitely not equal. Then if you look at September and December, so in September we have this and December also we have this. So we already calculated also, and we know that like this is cancelling out. So September and December, they are equal. Okay. Next is May and October. So May and October, right? May is this one. October we will have to read the lower graph. Now this graph is slightly above the graph. So May and October, it is not there. So only second is the right answer. Okay. So just by observation, by not calculating any of the values. If a normal candidate is there, they would calculate all the values, and it will take up a lot of time for them to answer the questions. You can answer these questions within 5 minutes. So if you develop this ability, if you get a DI set in the examination, that's a blessing for you, because you can solve the DI sets in no time, unlike some complicated LR set. Alright, so now let's look at the next graph type, which is called a funnel graph. Okay, so what is a funnel graph is in which this value is high, this value is lowest, and the values keep decreasing in every stage, right? So let us first read the information and then I'll explain, and then we will solve the questions. So it says MBA Guru offers test series for CAT and other MBA entrance exams. It has an Instagram page where it creates some posts. A certain percentage of the people who like the Instagram page visited their website. Some of the website visitors took CAT mock on the site. Some of those users then purchased CAT mock test. Some of the users who purchased CAT mock test purchased combo packs. The funnel of users is depicted in the graph below. So first there are Instagram likes, and then there are some people who visited the website, and then some took free mock test. Some of them purchased CAT mock test. Okay. Then some of them purchased the combo pack. So the number keeps on decreasing stage by stage. Okay, so that's what we are given in this graph. Okay, so now let's see further information which we are given that will help us calculate the things. Okay, one more thing is given. The percentage in the parenthesis indicates the percentage of users from the previous stage. For example, 12% of the users who took free mock test purchased CAT mock test. So there are some people who took free mock test, 12% of them purchased CAT mock test. Now A% of Instagram likes are website visitors, B% of website visitors took free test. So like this we are given the information, right? Okay, so let us look at the information which is given. It says that 9% of the users who liked the Instagram page took the free mock test. Now how do we interpret this information? So 9% of Instagram page likes. Now website visitors is A% of Instagram page, Instagram likes, and free mock test is B% of this. So A% into B% is 9%. Okay, A% into B% is 9%. This means A into B is 900. Okay. So one of the questions is what is the value of A? Of course you will have to find the values of A and B to answer the questions. Now A can take multiple values, right? It could be 30-30, it could be 50-18, it could be 20-45, anything, right? We do not know how much is that value. Okay. The difference between the number of free mock test takers and those who purchased CAT mock tests is 19,800. So free mock and purchase is difference is 19,800. Okay. So let's do one thing. So free mock test takers is B%. So forget this. So 12% of free mock test. So free mock test minus 12% of free mock test. Free test is 19,800. Okay, so this is what is given to us, that there are some people who took free mock test, 12% of them purchased CAT mock test, and that difference is 19,800. So 88% of free mock test is 19,800. Okay, so free mock test will be 198 by 88, and like this is into 100 into 100. Okay, so 19800. So this is divisible by 11. Okay, so this becomes 18 by 8. So 1800 by 8 is 225. So this number is your free mock test is 22500, 23,500. Okay, now those many took free mock test. Now we are given that 9% of users who like Instagram page took the free mock test. So this is 9% of this. इसका 9% है. So Instagram likes will be divided by 9, 25 and 4 zeros. Okay, so this is Instagram likes. So what do we get? 2,50,000 people like the Instagram page. Okay, so we have got this. Now had 7,500 more people who liked the Instagram page visited the website, the percentage of website visitors must have been 48% of the Instagram likes. Now there are some people who visited the website. If this number was 7,500 more, now 7,500 is how much percent of this? 3%. So if the number was 3% more, so there are n visitors to the website. If it was 3 more, n plus 3% is 48%. So n is basically like a, so this is a percent. So there are a percent visitors. If it was 3% more, if you add 3 to it, it becomes 48%. That is what they have given, isn't it? So there are already some visitors. If there are 7,500 more visitors, that means 3% increase in the 3% point increase in the number, that makes it 48. So this means A is 45%. Okay, so A is 45. That gives us B is equal to 20. Okay, so this will be 40%. So now we can answer the remaining questions of this set. Okay, so this is how we will solve it. So some calculations involved and understanding the data set. Okay, so there are Instagram likes, 45% of them visited the website, 20% of website visitors took free mock test, then 12% of them purchased the CAT mock test, then 40% of them purchased combo pack. So we will calculate the information that is needed. Okay, so A is calculated. It is saying what is the difference between the number of website visitors and the number of people who took the free mock test. So website visitors is 45% and free mock test is this. Okay, free mock test is basically 20% of this. Okay. Free test is 20% of website visitors, web visitors. So difference is what? 80% of web visitors. Difference will be 80% of web visitors, right? So 20% of web visitors is 22500. So multiply by 4, you will get 90,000. Okay, if you want to calculate the web visitors, that is fine, right? You will calculate 5 times of this, because 20% is 1/5. You will calculate 5 times and subtract, or you can do this logic also. 20% are web visit of them are purchasing, them are taking free test. 20% free test ले रहे हैं, so 80% difference हो गया, because website visitor is 100%, free test is 20%. Difference 80%. 20% हमें पता है कि 22,500. Multiply by 4 to get the answer. That is the difference. How many people purchase the combo pack? ठीक है, combo pack 40% of this. So 225 तो ये था, इसका 12 और इसका 40%. So like we calculated this 19,800 na, that was the difference. So 22500 was this free test. Okay, 19800 was the difference. So that gives us 2700 as CAT mocks, and combo is 40% of it. 40% of it is 1080. So combo pack is 1080. So these are the answers. Then we have the last question. What percentage of website visitors purchased CAT mock test? Okay. So website visitors, B percent into 12%. B is 20. 20 into 12%. 20% into 12%, that is 2.4%. So the answer is 2.4%. So it was a bit of calculation based DI set. It was important to understand that how do we solve like in a structured manner, plus some calculation hacks to attempt this set. So I hope you enjoyed this set. So in case you are looking for mock test, MBA Karo is actually offering CAT and OMET mocks. So we will be launching, like we have launched the CAT mock test, we will be launching other mocks also. So we have this plan in which we offer mock test for CAT and other MBA exams. So for CAT we are offering 15 full length plus 10 sectional each. So some people would say 45 tests, but yes, 15 plus 10 sectional each, like 10 VARC, 10 DILR and 10 QA. So in this you will have for QA and DILR, you will have video solutions, and for other section, the verbal section, you will have text solution. So this CAT mocks is available for 1500, right? So like if you do not want too many mocks, or you have already purchased from somewhere else, you want a variety, you can try our mocks also. Apart from CAT, we will be also offering mocks for other exams also. So I'll just give the details of it. So we will launch the mocks, right, as in the exams are announced as per the latest pattern. So this is our plan, in which like CAT I already told you 15 plus full 15 plus 10 sectional each. Okay, then for NMAT we will have 10 mocks. Okay, SNAP we will have 20 mocks. NMAT mocks have been launched. Okay, we will launch the other mocks later on. ZAT we will provide 5 mocks. For CMAT we will give 10 mocks, right? For MHCET you will get 20 mocks. Okay, CUET you will get 10 mocks. Okay, MyCAT 5 mocks. MyCAT you will not find any relevant mocks elsewhere. We will also give mocks for XGMT, which is 5 mocks, and SRCC GBO also you will get 5 mocks. So I have appeared on all these examinations and I am very well versed with the pattern of these exams. So you can expect the level of questions to be similar to what are tested in the examination on the same pattern that you get these tests. So all in all, you will get all these mock tests. Like, let me not add the numbers. You already know that the significance of all these exams. So in case you want to purchase this bundle, the bundle is available for 5,000 rupees only. Okay, so that will include all these mocks for all these exams. Remember that the mocks will be released later on. It's not that the mocks are released right now. So CAT mock, we have released the first free mock. You can take the free mock. So if you are in this category, you can take the free mock test. Then you can purchase CAT mocks, and then probably you can take the combo pack also. So the free mock is live. You can take and see that how much you score in that mock. And we will subsequently release the remaining mocks also. NMAT mocks are already live. We will be releasing mocks for these exams, and these are the numbers that we are promising to you. So you will get mocks for all these exams. So this bundle is available for 5,000, and the CAT mocks are available. If you want just the CAT mocks, they are available for 1,500, and if you use the code HOT, you can get 20% off till 30 June. So you can get this bundle for 4,000 and CAT mocks for 1,200 if you use the code at the end of this month. Okay, the links of all these are given in the description of this video. Alright, so let's move on to the next graph. This graph is called area graph. Okay. Now this is something very new that you might be seeing, although it is not difficult. Okay. Remember that if you see something new, that is not necessarily difficult. Okay. So it says that it is more like a puzzle sort of thing. It says that there is a large piece of land that is divided into 7 plots as shown below. Okay. This information is given. Plots C and D have same area. So this have same area, and plots A and B also have the same area. F is in the shape of a square. So it looks also like a shape of a square, but the information is needed here that it is actually a square. The length of plot C is 1.5 times its width. So if this is the width, this is 1.5 times of it. Okay, 1.5 times of this. Then the area of plot B is 4 times the area of plot B. The width of plot G is same as that of plot F. So this is equal to same. Okay. The area of the largest of these plots is 216 square meter. So this is the information given to us. Based on it, we need to find the area of this land. Okay, one of the questions is what is the total area of the land, and subsequently the area of parts, and then answer the questions. So try this set. This is an interesting set which you will find a very unique set which I created recently. So pause the video and try to solve it, and then look at the solution to it. It's an easy one, it's just that it is different from the remaining ones. So f is in the shape of square, and this is 1.5 times. So let us say the length of this is, like this portion is 2L, right? Why are we taking 2L? Or because this is 1.5 times, this will be 3L. Okay, this is also 2L. Okay, this graph is area graph. 2L, 3L, 3L. So its area is 6L square. Its area is 6L square. Its area is 4L square. Why I did not take L? Because it would become 1.5L, and that calculations would become complex in that case, right? So that's why I have taken these values. Now it says that the area of plot B is 4 times the area of plot D. Okay, so 4 times, this is 24L square. This is also 24L square. Okay. Now it says that C and D have the same area, and then this is plot C is 1.5 times its width. This has been used. C and D have the same area, A and B have same area, that is done. F is shape of square, area of plot B 4 times, width of plot G is same as that of plot F. So plot F, the width is 2L, so this is also 2L, right? So this is also 2L. E also will be 2L, right? So this is 2L. Now if you look at this, we do not know, like if you see this area, this is 6L square and 6L square. So this is 12L square. If you combine C and D, this is 12L square, right? Now this is 24L square. That means this is double of it. Like अगर हम C और D को एक के ऊपर एक रखते हैं, this is 6 plus 6 which is 12, and B is adjacent to it, and B is 24. That means B is even double of this, 12 and 12. So this means that B, it will be 4L into 6L. See, this is 3L and this is 3L. So you can visualize like this. This length is 3L, this is length is 3L. So this complete length is 6L from this point till this point. So this means this length is going to be 4L, right? So this will also be 4L, right? So now this complete length is 10L. Okay, 10L by 10L, okay? It's a square. It says that it is okay, it is not given that square, right? Okay, so we are not given square, so we will calculate it. So anyway, this is also 2L given like F, and this is also given as 2L. So essentially it is 10L into 10L. This is also 10L, and this is also 10L, right? So it is a square, 100L square. Now we will have to find the value of L. So this is 24, 24, this is 6, 6. Now this distance is 4 plus 4, 8. 8 into 2, this is 16. Okay? 8 into 2, 16. And this is 10 into 2, 20L square. Okay? So that is the areas of all these lands. Now what we are given that the largest of these plots is 216. Which is the largest? A and B are the largest. 24L square is 216. So L square is 9, or L is equal to 3. L is 3, so you can find the areas. Okay. So this is basically 216. So write the values here. So L is 9. Okay. So the total area is 100L square. 10L into 10L, so answer is 900 square meter. We can calculate the areas. 216, 216, 6 into 9, 54. This is also 54. The smallest one is 36. Okay, 16 into 9 is 144, and this is 20 into 9, which is 180. So these are the areas of different plots of land. Now what is the ratio of the areas of the largest and the smallest piece of land? So you have to find the area of the ratio of areas of largest and smallest. So largest is 216 and smallest is 36. So the ratio is 6:1. Now this could have been answered without even calculating the areas, because we knew the area is 24L square and this is 4L square. तो इसके लिए आपको total area निकालने की जरूरत नहीं थी. The owner of the land plans to fence the land separating each plot. What is the total length of the fence? Okay, so now he has to make a fence and you need to find the total length of it. Now see this, L is 3, so this total length is 30, and 30, the plot is 30 by 30 from here till here. Now see, he needs 30 meter for this, 30 meter for this. Okay, 30, how much is needed? 60. So keep counting. I'll do it with a different pen so that you understand it. So he needs 30 meter here, 30 meter here, 30 plus 30. Okay, and then he needs so this is 6L, which is 18 plus 18 plus 18. Okay, and then he needs this length, which is 2L, which is 6. Okay, so how much it is? 60 plus 42, or anything else we need. This is 30. Sorry, we will need this from here till here. Okay, so 30, and this is from here till here, it is 8L, which is 24, and this is 18, this is 18, this is 24, and this separator is 6. So we see that 60 plus 48, that is 108. And one more thing we will have to take is separating each plot. So we will have to fence the outside also. So the question should have been better. It should say that all are fenced from outside also. So we will have to take this outside fence also. So it is not given in the question. It should have been given in the question. So we will need outside fence also. Okay, outside fence means we need 120 more. So total we will need 228 meters of wire. Last question says there are two street lights along the edge of the land. One is at the junction of plots C and D. Okay, one is at this junction and it is at the edge of the land. So this is edge. This is one of the street lights, and the other is at the junction of plots E and G. So this is the other street light. Okay, and we need to find the distance between the feet of these two lights. So we need to find the distance between these 2 points. So this is 3 plus 2, 5L, that is 15, and this is 30. So under root of 30 square plus 15 square. So which is 900 plus 225, root of 1125. Okay, just recheck. This is 15, 3 plus 2, 15, and this is 30. So root of 1125. Okay, so if you see 35 square is, or like if you know the exact square root before 1125, great. If you do not know, 35 square is 1225, right? So it cannot be 35 or more than this. Okay, so it has to be 33.54. We know 33 square is 1089. So no need to calculate, because 35 square is something which you can calculate quite easily. Okay, so this is the value, that will be 33.54 meters. So this was an entirely new set for you. Probably you might not have seen this kind of a set, although it was an easy one. It was not a difficult set to do, and this is the solution to the set and the answers to the questions. Okay, so in this video we did different kind of graphs. Let me just revisit the kind of graphs that we did. So we did a bubble chart, right? We did a funnel chart. Okay, we did waterfall, we did area, and there was one more which was a triangular chart. Okay, so do let me know in the comments that how many of you knew all these charts. आपको इनमें से 5 में से कितने charts आते थे, and how did you like the questions? So these were some unconventional charts. Remember that if you get unconventional charts in the examination, the set is not going to be very difficult. It is just that it is different. Read the information carefully and you shall be able to answer the question. For example, the last graph was an area graph. बस आपको information लेनी थी, basic area निकालना था rectangle and square का, and you just had to get the area of that place. Okay, similarly triangular, if you read how to find the percentages across 3 dimensions, you could have done it. Same for the other charts as well. In case you are preparing for CAT and are looking for a structured preparation where we cover all these topics of all the sections, and in DILR also in a structured manner, you can enroll in our CAT batch, and if you use the code HOT, you can get 20% off till 30th of June. If you want to get the PDF of this class, join my Telegram channel, a Telegram group which is by the name of MBA Karo. You will find the PDFs of these. So I hope you are enjoying this series, and this was day 13. You enjoyed solving data interpretation sets, some very cool sets which some of you which you might not have seen previously. So please don't forget to like this video, and if you are not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe to the channel where you get the best quality content for all MBA entrance examinations. So thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.